We return to Book 3 of Homer's epic poem, the Iliad. And if you happen to have missed the first or second parts of this summary, then please check out the links in the description down below. But if you've happened to have caught up to this point in this epic poem, then join us as we break down Helen reviewing the champions. So the book begins with the two armies having been rallied for battle as they arrive in the field, awaiting this bloody pitched battle. Both sides believing fully that the gods are with them. But as we have learned within the previous book, that the Achaean Greeks could not be more mistaken upon this part. And despite having an overwhelming advantage in knowledge of the Achaean battle plans, as well as the gods' divine blessing, the Trojans do not engage the Achaeans. But neither do the Achaeans engage the Trojans. No, much like any ancient battle, both sides spend most of the day staring at each other's lines and daring each other to throw the first punch. There is a stalemate that goes on for a long time until Paris boldly and flamboyantly strides out from the Trojan ranks into the no man's land between the armies. And seeing the man who stole his wife, Menelaus rides out from behind the Achaean ranks. On his chariot, he steps down to challenge Paris to a duel. Paris, has been quickly seen Menelaus, slinks back into the shelter of his troops behind the lines, cowardly avoiding the man that he had stolen his wife away. The entire reason for this war, Paris had stolen Helen away, who was Menelaus' wife. And upon seeing his brother's cowardly action, Hector turns to Paris and berates the man, as well as denouncing Paris for being more beautiful than brave. Paris actually agrees with his brother, but his pride is wounded, and he needs to be amended. He proposes settling the conflict over Helen in a duel with Menelaus. Hector actually agrees to the terms and calls out to the Achaeans. Hector agrees because he can get one of two things to happen. Either Paris dies and he doesn't have to deal with Paris causing all these massive wars, or two, they win and the conflict is over. This is a win-win in Hector's mind. And then the scene shifts over as the two armies speak and talk about the terms of the duel, where it goes over towards Helen and Priam as they stand upon the walls of Troy. The goddess Iris actually summons Helen to join Priam upon the ramparts of Troy to watch the upcoming duel and battle. Priam sees her, and Helen deeply regrets the cost of this conflict being fought over her, which is something that kind of gets lost in many translations, as you see Helen kind of gets thrown underneath the bus as this person who willingly did this, as you'll find out as you read the Iliad, or even other types of this Greek epic poem about the Trojan War. Helen very much was not a willing participant in starting this war. But she talks to Priam, who asks her about who each of the champions are from the Achaean lines, and Helen goes through each of the different champions, including a great Ajax, as well as Agamemnon and Odysseus. As she goes on through the list of champions, she notices that her brothers are missing, and she wonders if they are not present at all because they are ashamed of her, believing that she had stolen away with Paris out of her own free will and not because of Aphrodite's messing around. But this is interrupted when a messenger arrives to tell Priam about the terms of the duel. And so he reads it, and then orders the gathering of the sacrifices to bind the agreement with Zeus. And with this, the scene shifts back to the field where the duel is about to begin. The duel is now locked in with the gods, and any breaching of it would be a dishonor to the side that would break it. Paris initiates the duel with a spear throw, but he ultimately misses his shot. Menelaus also misses his spear throw, but he gains the upper hand in the fighting, knocking Paris to the ground, and he almost kills the man, but his sword shatters upon striking Paris's helm. Cursing, Menelaus throws his sword aside, and as Paris is standing up, he wrestles him back to the ground. And as Paris is turning over, Menelaus begins to actually strangle the man by pulling at his helmet, causing the helmet straps, the chin strap, to start to strangle Paris. Paris would have been doomed to die here had it not been for Aphrodite'S intervention. She breaks the straps upon the helmets and spirits Paris away to his bedroom with Helen. Now, Helen's feelings, as I said earlier, she's not a willing participant in this war. She was less kidnapped, more the gods forced her to actually go with Paris. It's hard to explain on there, but it's more or less Aphrodite could control who you fall in love with, and you have absolutely no control with what she plans to do if she plans to play lovemaker. So Aphrodite planned to play lovemaker with Paris, with Paris and with Helen. And as a result, Helen had to go with Paris. She is not a willing participant. And her feelings are conflicted because she has this Aphrodite lovemaker in there, so she actually does love him, but she also equally despises the man because she does not wish to go with him. And Aphrodite, bending her will, she loves him, but deep down she actually hates the man. This is very important to break down. Paris, however, has no shame or feelings of responsibility for starting this giant war, and the one that's been going on for 9 years, and yet he alone has abandoned the battlefield. Yes, Aphrodite carried him away, but Paris could easily stride back to the battlefield. But he's so happy to stay back here with the bedchambers of Paris that he's willing to even sleep with the woman in this situation, rather than going back to the men that are going to be killing each other for his prize. Helen actually even goes as far as mocking Paris for this decision that he makes, and mocking him as a coward upon first seeing him in the bedroom. Paris is actually unfazed by this mockery and abandoning his honor in the field, and is perfectly happy, as I said, to bed Helen, leaving his army to fight while he enjoys the spoils of war. It is no wonder that the entirety of the Trojan army actually hates Paris, and even Hector wishes that Paris had died instead of actually bringing back Helen and bringing doom upon Troy. Now we go back to the battlefield, where Paris' disappearances from the duel has caused all chaos to break loose. Everybody's wondering what the hell just happened. Paris looks like he just ran back behind the lines of his army in the middle of a duel after his helmet strap broke, saving his life. And Agamemnon seizes the initiative on here, steps out into the field and declares their victory. As we had clearly seen, Menelaus is the winner here. He had beaten Paris down, almost strangled the man, and the man ran away from the duel. According to the terms of any duel, Menelaus has won. And on this, Agamemnon is absolutely correct. The Greeks deserve the spoils of war according to the rights of the duel. But you'll find out very soon that it doesn't quite end this way. And with that, Book 3 actually ends here. It's a tantalizing taste of a battle to come. But if you're enjoying the story so far, then you can pick up a copy of a nice leather-bound edition in the description below in the Amazon affiliate link. If you also would like to continue following these summaries, then please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And I look forward to hearing from you guys into the next video. And with that, take care, guys.